In example 4, we want to write an equation of the parabola that has a vertex of -5, -2, and a focus of -10, -2. Before we write our equation, we need to know if we have a y equals or an x equals parabola. The way to tell is to find which number from these 2 points stays the same. If we take a look at that, we know that the -2 is the same as the y value in both the vertex and the focus, telling us that the vertex and the focus, that y value is not changing. If we go up and we look at our equations from the front side, we need to look at our vertex and our focus. And again, we said the y value was not changing from this point, the vertex, to the focus. Well, if we look at this graph, which is a y equals graph, our x value is staying the same, h and h, where the y value is changing by adding this 1/4a. So this eliminates this equation. If we take a look at our second equation, the x equals, our vertex, which is h and k, to our focus, we see that the k remains the same in our vertex and our focus, telling us that this is the one that stays the same, meaning this is the one that we have to deal with right now. So we are going to be writing an equation as an x equals a times y minus k squared plus h. We are also going to use these formulas that we see on the front here. If we go back to our problem, we have our vertex and we have our focus. So the vertex is h comma k. So we know that h is -5, and we know the k value is -2, provided by our vertex. Now for our focus is -10, -2. We need that formula that we have from that front side. So you can take a look at it. But the focus that we need for an x equals graph is going to be our h plus 1/4a comma k. That tells us that the x coordinate is h plus 1/4a, which is this -10, and then k is -2, which we already know k is -2. So what we need out of this focus is this point right here. So that's telling us that -10 is equal to h plus 1/4a. Again, this first coordinate of my focus from the formula from the front is the h plus 1/4a. So -10 and h plus 1/4a are the same thing, which is what we have represented here. Since I know what h is, I can plug that in, giving me the a value once I solve for it. So I know that -10 is equal to -5, and I got that from here. I just plugged that -5 in for the h, plus 1/4a. And if I'm going to solve this, the first thing that I would need to do to solve for a is to add that 5 over to the other side. And I get -5 equal to 1/4a. And then I need to multiply both sides by 4a. I need to get that a out of the denominator. And I get -20a equal to 1, because the 4a's will cancel out. And then finally, to solve for a, I need to divide both sides by -20, and I get a is equal to -1/20. Now that I have my a value, my h value, and my k value, I can plug it into my general formula. Remember, my general formula for my x equals parabola is x equals a times y minus k squared plus h. So my answer to my problem is going to be x equals my a value, which is -1/20, times y minus my k value. Since k is -2, subtracting a negative will make this a +2 squared. And then plus my h value, since h is negative, it's going to be a -5. Next, I would like you to pause the video and do the try this. Unpause it when you're ready to check your answer. If you did try this correctly, you should have gotten y equals 1 over 36 times x minus 6 squared minus 3. If you have any questions, please let me know.